because it's real important information. And the first one I'm going to tell you about is Shadow Elite by Janine R. Wedel. Very important information is what Americans need to know. And anybody that doesn't know it, that's maybe like middle class and knows some of us working class people that they can explain it to. I hope they read this too if they don't know it already. Okay, I wanted to read the flap on it for you. It can feel like we're swimming in a sea of corruption. It's unclear who exactly is in charge and what role they play. The same influential people seem to reappear time after time in different professional guises, pressing their own agendas in one venue after another. According to award winning public policy scholar and anthropologist Janine Wedel, these are the powerful shadow elite, the main players in a vexing new system of power and influence. In this groundbreaking book, Wedel charts how this shadow elite, loyal only to their own, challenge both government's rules of accountability and business codes of competition to accomplish their own goals. From the Harvard economic, economists who helped privatize post Soviet Russia and the neoconservatives who have helped private American foreign policy, culminating with the debacle that is Iraq, to the many private players who daily make public decisions without public input. These manipulators both grace the front pages and operate behind the scenes. Wherever they maneuver, they flout one sacrosanct boundaries between state and private. Profoundly original, Shadow Elite gives us the tools we need to recognize these powerful yet elusive players and comprehend the new system. Nothing less than our ability for self government and our freedom are at stake. And there's one part that I wanted to read you that she wrote. Page 205. Although the new system occasioned the crisis, it will adapt to the still newer, sometimes hostile circumstances that arise partly as a result from regulation, political validity, and cultural developments to deepening economic turmoil. The challenge for the public is to try to preserve the accountability and transparency that is needed in a democratic society. The world still has some hope for tracking the shadow elite, but existing means are far from being sufficient or able to cover the traveling basis of the players who operate largely above public input, knowledge, and visibility. While new modes of dealing with some of the most obvious abuses will likely emerge, though not necessarily in the most opaque arenas such as finance, the problems presented by the new breed of players can't be solved by going back to traditional means of accountability. Few are the champions of boundaries in today's world. My goal here has been to lay out the problem and identify patterns so that, at the very least, we can comprehend the new phenomena. To change something, you must first understand it. I have written this book so that others can use the same lens to identify the players to which the transformational developments of the last quarter century has given rise. Their numbers and influence are sure to multiply in the coming years. The rise of the shadow elite warrants revisiting age old thinking on corruption. In the New Testament, the author of the Gospel of Matthew wrote, "No one can serve two masters, for a slave will either hate the one and love the other, or be devoted to the one and despise the other." Matthew 6:24. This is corruption at its most basic, a violation of public trust. Flexians and flexnets pursue the ends of their own ideological masters, which often contradict the other masters they supposedly serve. The challenge for policymakers and readers, now that the problem has been laid out and the animal named, is to work toward recovering the public trust. She's a very good writer. And we used to talk about politics in the old days quite a lot. Around the supper table, on the porch, with people walking by, or even in a bar or a domino or pool room or somewhere like that. But not anymore. All we've got is the internet. And I just wanted to read you the names of the chapters. And for the curious, you should read this book. Number 1 is Confidence Men and Their Flex Lives. Now that's con men. So yeah, I knew I had to read it. And number 2, When Privatization Meets Truthiness, which is a battle going on now. And Flex Power in the Wild East. And you'll find out why some of these schools, big colleges, old ones, can't be trusted. Number 4 is U.S. Government Inc. INC. And you ought to read this. And this was when Bush was in office with his demagogues. And the number 5, the privatizers. That's the corrupt corporation that's our big brother, isn't it? And number 6, the commanders. That's readable. Number 7, accountability in the age of flex nets. And you need to read this to find out what the flex part means the most. And I hope most Americans read this that doesn't know what's going on with deep inside of it yet. Things they tried to keep covered up, and that's part of the corruption. So I hope y'all's going to have a great one. Night.